Hello, hello. It's a Sunday afternoon, and I'm just chilling on the back porch on a beautiful, beautiful November 2nd. It is a Sunday to remember, and I'm just chilling with you guys for a little while. Did my members only stream, earlier on in the morning. That was wonderful. I went out with Lauren and Aurora to grab some new lights for the Christmas tree that we already put up, as is mandated by law on November 1st. And now Aurora's hanging out with her grandmother. Lauren is chilling. Larry Sharp for governor, 2026. That would be wonderful. Wait, did he declare? Did Larry Sharp declare? Good day, Rain Cry. Hello. Hey, Drew. Drew Estates. Got the acid Cuba Cubas here. I haven't had a cigar in a while, so choppy video and audio. Well, I don't know why that would be the case. I'm connected to Wi-Fi. Is anybody else feeling choppy? I got to get in touch with Larry then and see what's going on there. God bless you, Rain. Thank you for the blessings. And Moira, good to have you out there. All the best to you. That's an interesting thing, because I know that you have Elise Stefanik, who is apparently polling neck and neck with Kathy Hochul, the mortician's bride. And, you think about someone like Larry Sharp, who's so much better. Hold on. I don't know if you can hear the playing. I don't know if you guys remember Larry from the show, but Larry Sharp's ideas would be so much more. I don't even know what the hell Elise Stefanik's platform is, but it's not going to be Larry Sharp. Anyway, I'm off on Sunday, so it's really cool to check in. Mike from Carolinas, but I'm back in Miami, my hometown. Beautiful. Well, it's good to have you on. Moorhead, I remember. I think I remember that. I know that name. Well, it should be a great week of shows. Tomorrow, I don't know what we're doing in the first half of tomorrow's show, but there's plenty to chop up. In the second half, I think we're going to have Greg Carlwood of the Higher Side Chat stopping by. And then on Tuesday, which is the 4th, what the hell do I have coming on Tuesday? 2 streams in one day. Yeah, V. Well, I was actually 3, because I tried out Instagram Live this morning, and I played around with some new features they had over there, with like bringing in people from the audience to come in and talk to me on screen. That was really great. But yeah, anyone here have SNAP recipients going nuts at the supermarkets? I haven't heard of anything. And this is it's infuriating. It's infuriating because every time there's a little bit of a pause in anything, you start seeing what the real deal is. What's the real deal? What's the real deal when it comes to SNAP? I just put something out on Instagram right now. Just a little. I saw a tweet. Somebody. I used to be on food stamps, or I grew up on food. I grew up poor. I forgot what the hell the preface was, but being able to have cookies like the rest of the kids made me feel like I was one of them. So no, you shouldn't limit SNAP and EBT benefits to being able to make purchases. Like don't take the access to cookies. Don't take the access to cookies away from poor kids, which is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. This whole every new layer of Coke that they put onto this stuff is incredibly is incredibly frustrating. Just think about somebody turning a $3 sleeve of Chips Ahoy into an identity issue. Give the kids the cookies. It's the only thing that makes them feel normal. Think about being an adult and throwing that shit out there. First of all, you can't find $3 between the couch cushions to go buy the cheapest chemical cookie on the planet. If we're really going to talk about this as being an identity issue, Chips Ahoy, really? And then I'm thinking to myself, well, what does food stamps get you? Can you not buy some sugar, some flour, and some eggs and bake a cookie? Or are we going to talk about access to stoves and ovens now? I just don't understand. It just goes to show that there is a lifestyle that has been long since built upon programs that were meant to be temporary stopgap measures to get a person back on their feet. These are lifestyles that were being built. Of course, I'm filled with empathy and sympathy for poor children, but there was always ways to help them. It's just ridiculous what these political monster adults are doing. Let the kids have their cookies. It's the only thing that makes them feel like kids. It's just sickening. So every new layer of ridiculous cope they put on this thing, it makes people, at least like me, want it to just go away forever, as quickly as possible. It was never supposed to be here. These were always state issues. They were always supposed to be in the jurisdiction of state-run programs and all that other stuff. It's not anti-poor. It's anti-centralized this. And there's so much laziness. You're right. There's so much laziness attached to it. It's a lifestyle. Nobody wants to work. This takes away your ambition. It takes away everything. And then there are people. There are people who need it, who really do need it, who are not entering into these programs in bad faith, who can't get off of it. I know those people. I have known those people who can't get off of the programs. They get on, they need the help, and then once they start making advancements in the workplace and all that stuff, as soon as they make $5,000 extra more dollars, everything is pulled away from you all at once. It's so hard to get off of it that you actually start making choices in life that limits your personal success, so that you can keep these subsidies coming in. Those are for people who just really needed the help. Now, as far as how few and far between those people are, I don't know. I don't know, because the only ones who are really vocal about it are definitely overfed, lazy fucks. Those are the ones who are the most vocal right now. Overfed and lazy. And this is just part of the nightmare, man. Part of the nightmare. And I don't want to be upset up. It makes me upset. It makes me want to just lash out verbally. And I don't want to present myself like in this way to the world. I really just want to talk about, I really want to talk more about things that make us human and have a good time. But how can you pay? This is the most anti-human thing. If you're a fan of humanity, this should piss you off because it's so anti-human. I had some reptile on Twitter say, well, obviously you never needed, you never were in a position where these things were needed, or it's like trying to tell me that I had Chips Ahoy privilege or something like that. Or I'm trying to suck the happiness out of this cigar. The Blue Jay agrees. Good to have you out there, Peppermint. They really hate when you just try to use assistance as a stepping stone, not to need it. Same with addiction care. Yes. This is the nuance These are the shades of context that are always missed in these conversations. What's going on, Brooklyn? This is what is always missed in these conversations. They try to keep this as basic as possible, reduce it to the greatest absurdity possible, and to the greatest extreme possible. You can barely talk to anybody long enough to make the point that the program's existence themselves are anti-human. They are inhumane. And it is part of the reason why our general government, the federal government, never and still does not have the authority to create and maintain these programs. It's the same thing. Seniors, disabled, and veterans on Social Security sustain on EBT because there's no money left for food after the rent is paid. Yes, but we are not talking about disabled people. We're talking about people who are actually more and more disabled because of the programs. You see how fat some of these people are? You seriously, literally cannot expect that person to be productive. You can't expect a person that morbidly obese to be productive. How long are they even going to be on their feet? Even if they're just stocking shelves. It's so anti-human, the toll it takes on people's minds, their hearts, their bodies. But good luck trying to keep somebody's attention long enough to even get to that point. I don't want to see people starve, much less not children. Ridiculous, but nobody's starving. The lengths people go with their performances is nuts. Boy, you really took it out of me today. I guess it was just bubbling beneath the surface. It's like Jed Clampett shooting the ground and all the oil comes out. That's what's happening to me right now, the bubbling well of oil. I know, Blue Jay. Somebody agrees with me. There was a long line to vote in New York City this morning. Weather is supposed to be good on 11/4. Anxious about the outcome. Yeah, Moira, me too. I don't have a vote. I'm on the outside of New York City, but I'm close enough to see the fireworks from the horizon. Close enough to have seen the smoke from the World Trade Center if you had a rooftop view of the distance. So no comment on closing federal parks. Come on, man, I need my hiking trails. I know. How are people supposed to walk on dirt without the federal government? Good golly, Miss Molly. Speaking of Molly, I can't wait to tell everybody who won. I haven't gotten the winners' names yet, but the Keto Brainz contest is tomorrow. I'll let you guys know who wins that. Good luck to you all. Let's see. I'm on SSDI. Speaking for myself, I have seen just how far people will go to milk this system. Food is a necessity. It shouldn't allow soda chips. What the hell's wrong with people? Listen, and here's it again. The way we're sitting around and hanging out, it's the only way that this stuff can come out. I do, you're not going to get me saying, well, you got to get off the program, you got to get off this program, that program, you got to blah, 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 blah. First of all, Social Security is supposedly owed to all of us citizens. If there's anything left in that account by the time I claim it, whatever. But I wish I could pull that all right now. Everything that I put into Social Security, I wish I could just opt out right now and take everything that's being taken from me and put it into my own retirement fund that I haven't been able to contribute to in almost 2 years. Because the costs just keep going up. Overhead, I had to bring on more staff because the only way to get the show noticed is if we start clipping media, and I need video editors. It's just like, I think about how some people are out there making lifestyle arguments over their right to buy cookies with my money, no matter how minimal my contribution to each one of those purchases are. And I think about all the things that I have the ambition to do for myself that I have to limit and I have to put myself on hold to some degree until I bring on a new sponsor or I get somebody else to come on to join me on Patreon. And all these things depending on how much and how smartly I'm going to work. How smart I'm going to work and how, you know, those are the questions I'm asking. There's other people going, but the Chips Ahoy, it's part of my identity. As if this is even going to go away. This is a temporary pause, as we all know. There's no way in hell these food stamps are going away. Okay? There's going to be a little bit of an overlap. There's going to be a little bit of a gap, and that's it. But there are people out there, let's just be honest. I know. There are people out there who were waiting for November 1st because they want an excuse to steal. Let's be very honest. There are people out there who were relishing this. I'm sure that there are some people. I'm sure there's some people who are genuinely nervous, who are living alone, who are older, who are on one form of assistance or another, who are really thinking, how am I going to survive? And my heart goes out to them. I wish that the system was set up a lot more securely for them. That means by the states, generated by state money, so you don't have to worry about any of this other stuff. But you know that there's a great number of people are out there who are like, oh, yes, I can't wait to just show up to CVS on the first day and just pile everything into a cart and walk out with it. There are people who were just waiting for this. They love the idea because it gives them more predicate, more reason to act as badly as they usually do. That's part of the culture too. What's up, Shane? Shane, your lovely woman reached out to me, and I gave her all of the information on how all of the sponsorship perks go and where she's going to get all of her Sunday links and stuff like that. So yes. Greg says, new to the channel, should I subscribe? Volunteers need a November 1st to watch over our Grammys loading their groceries. Stay frosty and watch for parking lot pirates. Should you subscribe? Yeah, sure. Go ahead, subscribe. And, yeah, watch out for all the grannies. There goes all the way savvy. There goes all the savvy businesswomen selling Pilates on Marketplace. I should start selling Pilates. That's what I should start doing. Well, we're going to do more stuff. I think that Lauren is going to, for members only, for Quite Frankly, sponsors either on Patreon, Subscribestar, or whatever. I think Lauren is actually going to be starting to do, she hasn't told me when she wants to start it, but she wants to do like a morning stretch. Morning stretches with people. A lot of the Frankly ladies were like, we would love to do some workouts with Lauren, because on Sundays, I every once in a while, I do workouts with everybody on Sunday mornings on the private streams. I'm going to do that a lot more often. Oh, you mean plates, not Pilates. Okay. Oh, here she is right now. People were wondering about morning stretches with Lauren. The Lauren morning stretch with Lauren. There she is. What's for dinner? Getting out of the way of that sun. Here we go. That's a lot better. Sorry, I've been glaring you guys out. What's for dinner? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I have some steaks. That I bought from Sal on Wednesday. I had 2 steaks. But I want to save them for Monday and Tuesday. So for tonight, we're trying to think it out. Think about it. Trying to think about it. Let me see. We have, hold on. I saw, I guess I saw some super chats come in. Michael Moorhead said, Frank, I was in line at the store and there was a woman screaming into the phone about non-citizens getting food stamps, but she was getting a $20 lotto ticket. Yeah, well, I mean, quite frankly, rules. I can't watch the live during the week, but I'm glad I can contribute a little to this awesome show. Michael, you're the man. Thank you so much for the super. I don't never expect super chats when I go live like this, but it's always appreciated. Meatballs and sauce. That sounds great. A roast. Meatballs sound good. Lauren made meatballs on Halloween night, but I didn't eat them because I had a tension headache. I had a tension. I had a headache on Friday night, so I just kind of chilled out until it broke later on that evening. I was probably just stressed about having to do the stream from my father's house. When I have too many things, too many responsibilities, when I have personal and professional responsibilities that mix, I get really stressed. The party was good, Shane. I went live for 20 minutes just to do something. It was before people really started showing up. It was a great party. It was a wonderful Halloween night. I wish I was a little bit more mobile. Maybe next time I'm just going to use my phone. I'm just going to use my phone for those types of streams so you can see everything and all that stuff. So for his Christmas party, I'll use the phone and I won't do such an elaborate setup. But yeah, it was great. I'm stewing some chicken and rice cauliflower, low and slow. I love it. I'm going to stay live for, what is it, 22 minutes we're live? I'm going to stay live at least for a half hour. I just want to pop in so you guys just, any kind of questions, any kind of comments, I'm just going to roll with you. These are the streams I miss. One of my fallbacks is the Drew Estates, the Acid Cuba Cubas. They're a little bit sweeter, but Frank, what is your go-to horror films? Any Halloween traditions? Horror films. Well, I haven't watched Halloween, the original Halloween, in a couple of years. In fact, I haven't sat down to watch a scary movie in a couple of years. I'm never in a company that is open to it. Lauren can't even be in the room with creepy sounding music without it haunting her dreams. So that's off the. I think Aurora is going to be the type that I can watch some scary movies with one day. Aurora likes being scared. Um, she gets a thrill out of it. I think one day we're going to be able to watch some stuff together. I can't show her anything too crazy right now, but I think she's going to be my buddy when it comes to that. But I think Halloween. I don't know what else. I need you guys to jog my memory because it's been so long. Horror films: The Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby, Werewolf in London. Yeah, but Brooklyn, Jaws. We brought up Jaws on Saturday night. I know some people will put Jaws into horror, and I guess it is. It's horror, it's suspense, but it's set in the ocean. I have a really hard time putting Jaws into a Halloween category because Halloween takes place in neighborhoods. You know, it takes place in neighborhoods. You're not going to have a great white shark pop out from behind a bush. I can't. When I think of Halloween, I don't know. That's just I get what you're saying about Jaws itself, but I can't put it into the Halloween category. The Thing, Hellraiser. Yep. Under the Silver Lake was pretty horror-like. Anything John Carpenter, yeah. Um, there is when you get into some Stephen King films, like for example, The Shining. The Shining, I don't consider a Halloween film, but I would watch it during Halloween if you want to get freaked out. But The Shining is more of like a deep dead of winter film, you know? Frank, I'm not sure if this is an appropriate question, but do you have any other job to support your family, or does the channel is providing enough? I've been doing this full time since 2019. Just to get off a little bit on a tangent, then we'll get back to the horror stuff. I've been doing this full time since 2019. The first time I was able to go commercial with the show was in 2016. In August of 2016 is when I opened up my Patreon. And since then, through a mix of, every once in a while I'll bring on a business sponsor, but it's really just the audience. It's really the audience, subscription based, and what I can create exclusive for them. I create a lot of exclusive content and a lot of intimate, really great stuff for the audience. And yeah, I don't show my feet or anything like that. It's just I've got a vision for this, and it goes into like how I provide film clubs and book clubs, the Sunday streams, all the different tiers. I have so many people I write to as pen pals. I have Polaroid clubs and all that other stuff. And it's just, I was personal training before this. In 2019 was when I was able to really leave the personal training behind and go full on into broadcasting. And it's not just news broadcasting. That's just an aspect of it. So all what I would say is, if you're not a sponsor of the show, think about this. I'm going to bring it up tomorrow. We all spend money frivolously in some way. I have things that I spend money on frivolously that I just enjoy. Things that there's no real return on investment there. What I will say is this. Think about all the money that you could have saved every month that didn't really give you anything back at the end of it. Maybe a little rush, a sugar rush or something like that. And then think about your time with me every night and the love I put into this. And this is a show that you really, really enjoy. Then $10 a month on any of the platforms, I promise you, you're going to get 10 times back. I promise you. It's going to be $10 that you get something back because it's there waiting for you every night at 7 o'clock. And I'm always thinking of new stuff. That's all I'll say. And yeah, so the success of this show has never been about YouTube. Because for the last 5 years, I haven't even been monetized on YouTube, and it's very hard to grow here. So it's really just about how high quality the audience is. And I'm so grateful for the audience. I'm just so grateful for the audience. They're wonderful people. But there's more coming. There's more coming. There's more I want to do. I want to write scripts. Brooklyn knows about that. I want to get into other forms of storytelling and all that stuff. So there you go. That's it. I love what you do. I mean it. Well, thank you, Spiraling. Thank you. And like I said, $5-10 a month, I promise you, I will work so hard you'll never feel it. You'll never feel it. Because every week you get links to new exclusive streams I'm doing just for you, or something shows up in the mail, or I'm giving you promo codes and all that other stuff. It's just a lot of fun. Love to you all. Marcus Fedler, what's going on, Marcus? Moira, love you too. Okay, well, we are officially a half hour in. I will do a little overtime with you, and we can get back to horror, and let's see what else you got for me. Because I'd like to go as long as the cigar will last me. I heard about, speaking of movies, I have been keeping my eyes open for any kind of news on what's going on with Mel Gibson's Resurrection movie, The Resurrection of the Christ. And what I saw yesterday was a little disturbing. I'll talk about Game 7. Oh, I'll get there. Don't worry. So a little disturbing. Now, I know that during the filming of Passion of the Christ, there was quite a few conversions. Like the scene when Jesus is on trial in Pontius Pilate's court, and the choice been made to the crowd whether or not Jesus was going to be freed or Barabbas. That scene, some of you may know, if you go and you watch that, when Barabbas makes eyes, looks upon Jesus, Jim Caviezel as Jesus, you're actually seeing a moment captured on, you're seeing a conversion moment captured on film. It's really striking. This Italian actor, I forget his name. And so it makes me wonder if what I read is true about the recasting of Mary, Our Lady. The recasting of Mary was done, and I read something that the person that Mel Gibson and his staff chose was a pretty liberal-leaning woman who's like pro-abortion and all that stuff. And I don't. Maybe it's not true, or maybe I'm losing something here. But that was concerning. I was like, why? Why would you do that? Are you banking on another conversion moment, or I don't know. So I have to keep an eye out on that one, because I think Principles Photography has already begun, and that's curious to me. That's curious to me. I always hope and pray that people have, reversion or conversion moments or something like that. But that's curious to me. Just throwing that out there. Jim Caviezel declined the role because he's too old now for the rigors of the role. Well, Ginster, I have somebody in the chat room right now who knows Jim personally, and it wasn't about age. It was mostly about compensation. Mostly about compensation. That from 20 years ago to now, the compensation hasn't really changed, and that's all I really can say. But I know that was a major factor. It definitely was not age. There's plenty to take advantage of with de-aging, and if you can, I don't know what Mel has planned for this. I don't know what Mel has planned for this story. I can't wait though. But as far as the rigors of the role, I have to imagine that the passion, all aspects of the passion, from the scourging to the Stations of the Cross to the crucifixion itself and everything, I have to imagine that the actual physical role that would have to be played this time around is not going to be nearly as arduous. I have to imagine, because you're talking about fighting battles in hell and freeing souls in hell. And from what I heard, going back to the beginning to explain, to kind of put a to kind of put a to tell the story of the fall and the battle in heaven, and what establishes the importance of this realm and human beings, and trying to enslave us. Like, why we always ask, well, why are human beings so important to this story? Well, from what I have read, and I don't know what's going to be, but from what Mel has said in certain interview environments and everything else like that, it's going to be something along those lines, which would be damn awesome. That would be so great. We need more supernatural thrillers. We need more supernatural thrillers. Is there enough scripture on that part of Christ's resurrection to make a movie about that? Well, as far as the resurrection itself, I think more than enough. You have to take creative license with some stuff. And like I said before, you're going back to the beginning. You're going back to the beginning. You're always going to take creative license when you are directing a movie. And not only that, but there's plenty. There's plenty, especially during the 40 days after, leading up to the ascension and everything else. I mean, that'd be crazy to see Jesus just kind of blinking in and blinking out of uh, of of rooms. Talking about passing through doors and passing through walls like you're passing through dimensions. Um, Wild tangent. Don't worry. If there's one thing I want to throw my time into, and I know exactly what I want to talk about, I'm starting to compile some thoughts. I'm telling you. That's why the show is a major. The show is my life's work. I want to add more to that life's work. Brooklyn says, I guess there's enough for 2 films because he's making a part 1 and part 2. Yes. You know what the best thing about the part 1 and part 2 uh, aspect of the resurrection? The neck is getting cold now. Is that they're going to be released, I believe they're going to be released in successive months or in successive seasons. That there's not going to be like a year or two in between movies. That both are being shot at the same time, and they are going to be both released in the same year, which is, thank God. But we're talking about 2027, right? Which come on now. At least in 2026, we're going to get season 6 of The Chosen. At least we'll get season 6 of The Chosen in 2026, because 5 was incredible. 5 was incredible. New season of Stranger Things starts this month. I know. So there'll be things to get us by. It's more lucrative part 1 and 2. That's why The Hobbit was released in 3 movies. Well, there's lucrative, and then there's also practical. I think that it'd be a lot easier for audiences to go if you have 2 feature-length releases instead of some 4-hour odyssey with a 10 Commandments type of intermission. Those religious epics from the 1950s and 60s, the types of audiences that will pack theaters to see those now, I don't think that they're around anymore. I think you have a lot better chance of getting people in seats. I don't know. I don't know how. Then again, I never saw The Hobbit. Brooklyn, I've had a couple of friends now tell me to watch the Welcome to Derry thing, and I thought, bring back the intermission. Hey, I would go to the lobby and grab myself a treat. I can do it, but I'm just talking about the culture at large. But Brooklyn, what I've heard from my friends about the Welcome to Derry is, I thought that this was, when I first heard about it, I thought that it was going to be HBO striking up a Stephen King based miniseries on all of the backstory to it and Derry, Maine, and the origin stories of like what screwed the town up energetically and supernaturally, paranormally for so long. Like that, if you ever read the actual book, it takes you back to like the 18th, 17th century. Lauren's doing a little dance for me. Now she's taking her robe sashes, she's swinging them around like this, and she's doing the hip thing. Don't cover up now. Anyway, I thought that they were going to go back and tell us the story, Pennywise the Clown, Mr. Bob Gray, and all of the, because some of those stories, some of those chapters inside of the book, were really freaky. Like the kind of the ways that Pennywise would like pretty much haunt and torment the town every 75 years or so. It's almost like a fourth turning kind of a thing. I thought that that's what it was going to be, but apparently it's not. Apparently HBO is like taking this opportunity to make almost like an ambrosia of all types of Stephen King characters and references to, Salem's Lot and and other things, which is great because in a lot of his books he references other books. Like we were just reading The Body in August, which is the source material for Stand By Me, and inside The Body you get references to Cujo. Um, you get references to Cujo and other things. Look, everybody, look. A ladybug landed on me. Hopefully that's good luck. Go, fly. Take my wish. If something great happens for me in the next however long, we can all say that we were together when the ladybug landed on Frank. Tim Curry or Bill Skarsgård? Tim Curry? I would say Tim Curry just because of tradition. Uh, but Bill did pretty good. I never saw part two. Where were you when the ladybug landed on November 2nd? If all of a sudden, if by Christmas we have 125,000 subscribers on YouTube, we'll know what did it. It wasn't anything I did. I'm not superstitious. I think the ladybug is New York State bug. Do you do yourself a favor, Frank? Do not watch part two. I I don't know what the hell it was. I just wasn't interested in rushing back for part two. I forget all the criticisms I had of part one, like what they took away from. I'm forgetting all of the names. I'm forgetting all the names of the characters. What they took away from some of the characters, and what their roles were, and why they were so important to the book, and even to who was it? Mike? Who was the black kid, the black character from It? Like that whole story, I remember being upset in part one that they took away the importance of the black character. Was it Mike? What was his name? It wasn't Bill. Bill's the stutterer. And Jonathan Landis as Bill was awesome. Um, but it was Mike. He stayed in Derry. I love the importance of the character Mike because he stayed behind. While everybody went out and had their lives and did their thing, Mike stayed behind, and I think he became the librarian, and he essentially became the guardian of the town. The black kid plays a big part in Welcome to Derry, his backstory and his family. Well, I don't know how faithful to the source material they make it, but I seem to remember feeling like his role was diminished in part one of the two-part movie. Like I like the fact that he was home on the home front. He stayed home to make sure that anything ever popped up again, he could get the word out to the rest of the kids. They didn't do the gangbang thing in part two, did they? That whole scene's unforgivable. I remember reading that. This was years ago, and I wasn't even really paying attention to weird shit. But I remember years ago. I wish I could have had like video of me reading it for the first time, going, "Where the fuck is this going?" What? Then who's the other one? Who's dude? Like, there's no reason why they needed that. Like, Bev is the only way that Bev could comfort them down there. That they have a little bonding moment. And when the last match went out in the sewer, and they're in the sewers, and the match goes out, they have no light. Bev's like, run a train on me. You can't. I didn't know any girls like that. But you know, Maine, you know, New England. I'm sure there's one in every town. Good golly. King hated Kubrick's Shining. Honestly, at this point, it's a badge of honor. No, yeah, no. King hated Kubrick's Shining. I loved Kubrick's Shining. I love King's Shining, and I love Kubrick's Shining. If you read The Shining from the book, man, that's a great book. And I made sure I read it as fast as I could. I knew that a blizzard was coming. And I had it on the shelf, and I hadn't read it in a while. And I said, I'm definitely going to read The Shining during a snowstorm at some point. And it was snowing like the dickens one night, like back in 2010 or 11 or something like that. And I went to town, and it was so good. And you know, you pick up on what is different. You know, it's vastly different in many ways between Kubrick and the book. And I always knew that King didn't like it. And I was like, I don't care. I like both of these things, mutually exclusive. And then when they redid The Shining in the 1990s, that guy from that guy from Wings, remember that TV show Wings? They redid it for as a miniseries for TV in the 90s, and apparently King loved it because it was truer to the book. And I thought it sucked. Dick Halloran, Scatman Crothers, character from The Shining, is in Derry too. That's what my buddy Mike May told me. See, this is a good smoke session with people. When you can sit back and have a cigar and have to relight it a couple of times because the conversation is so good, that is a good smoke session. This was a great stream. I enjoyed this. I wonder if you could bring people into the stream. No, you can't. You can't bring people into the stream like you can on Instagram. Frank, you see the Y-Files is doing Codex Gigas in a few hours? No, what's that? Steven Weber was in Wings. Is Steven Weber the one that was in The Shining for television then? The Devil's Bible? I gotta watch it. I wish I could get AJ on. You know, I don't have to be best friends with everybody. I just want to be able to call up their people and say, hey, we'd love to have them on this week. If I may humbly request, as I've not been well, 14 years since diagnosis, I will never go through cut, poison, burn again. I'm doing all I can holistically, lying. If I didn't admit, I'm scared. What do you mean? What's the matter? What happened here? ST? Humbly request, I've not been well. It's 14 years since diagnosis. ST, please get in touch with Jay Gulinello. Whatever's going on, please get in touch with Jay Gulinello. Please. Email me and I'll forward it to Jay or something. You have my prayers. Whatever's going on, it's your business. But please email me and just talk to Jay. If that's really what you wanted to do with anything, then get in with somebody. Please get in with somebody like Jay. And yeah, because he. Please do that. How many shots did Jack Nicholson need for the hallway scene? I don't know. Brooklyn might know. Brooklyn is a very interesting woman. You should talk to her about things like this. I don't know the guy from TV Shining was Wings. I forgot about. Remember Jag? I do remember Jag. The Wizard of Gore. If you guys want one hell of a B movie masterpiece, watch that. Crispin Glover has a short cameo. 127 times he took that. Jeez. If that's true, can't say it's not work. Yeah, no wonder he was going crazy. I know the bat swinging scene in the staircase was 88 takes, and then they stopped counting. Wow. 88 takes. Well, it's Kubrick, too. I love all the behind the scenes that have been compiled from that movie. I love it. I love watching Kubrick work. I love it. It's fascinating. Hateful Eight. I finished that movie. I don't know. I don't remember anything about it though. Okay, we're just gonna go for an hour. It's 50. We're 50 minutes in. We're gonna go for a couple more minutes, and then we're off. But this is just too good. The kitchen scene with the black guy has the world record for most takes. The guy who's got the shine. You could be on the set for one of those films. If you could be on the set for one of those films, which one would you choose? Oh, well, for one of Kubrick's films, oh, I would want to be on set for Eyes Wide Shut. I'd want to be on set for Eyes Wide Shut. I don't know why anybody wouldn't. I would want to be on set every day, Eyes Wide Shut. I want to see everything, everything, so I know what was cut. And because I've seen that movie so many times, I'll know exactly what I'm looking at. I'll know exactly what I'm looking at. In fact, maybe we'll do a film club. Maybe we'll do a film club in December. Uh, I kind of would like to do It's a Wonderful Life with the film club. But Eyes Wide Shut is also a December film. Do you think he was approached by some of the Hollywood elites before the final cut? Oh, yeah. I don't know who you consider elites, but he was definitely confronted because cuts had to be made, and there are people, there are witnesses to whatever he was called into. He was called into a meeting, and there was a very loud uh, confrontation behind closed doors, screaming, profanity. So no doubt about it, he was approached and he was sat down, and they changed things. The what was it, 14 or 24 missing minutes that was cut out, all that other stuff, and who knows what, because he, I guess this was always going to be his swan song. That's why he wanted final cut um, privileges on that. But that's the legend at this point. Wasn't Sidney LeMay have a role as one of the ball goers? Sidney, is that the guy? Um, he's yeah, he's what's his name? He's the guy. Oh God, what's his name? Oh my God, the character's name is right there at the tip of my tongue. Uh, St. Don't worry, we're going to. It's a Wonderful Life. In fact, I'll get my father to call in on some things. I'll make sure that's for. I don't know. Maybe I'll make that a public film club. I don't know. He wasn't an actor. So who am I thinking about? Sidney something. Sidney Pollack. Ziegler. Ziegler's Party. That's what I'm thinking about, right? He plays Ziegler. Not only is he the host of the opening party, but he's also the one that confronts Tom Cruise around the pool table the day after Tom Cruise was exposed at the masked ball, the masquerade, but also gave him. Okay, so Lumet, we're not talking about the same thing then, Brooklyn, right? Or it's the same guy? Did he act in? I don't know. Sydney. Oh, okay. If you like Orson Welles, let's please do The Third Man. I want to do some film noir. Big time. Big time. Just seeing what you guys are saying. We got a couple of seconds left. He was also supposedly he was supposed to direct AI. Who was supposed to direct AI? Somebody other than Spielberg? Spielberg directed that, right? Or did he just executive produce it? I saw AI in the theater. That's the first time I left the movie theater just feeling weird. Thank you, Moldy Apple. Have a good one to you as well. Kubrick. Oh, he was supposed to do AI, huh? But then he died. Hmm, that's interesting. Oh, I, wow. I'm learning something from you guys. You see, these are the talks. V, thank you. Love you. Oh, Spielberg took over. They took out Kubrick and Aaron Russo, trading places. AI is a Kubrick film to me. I didn't know about this until right now. This is what we need more of on the show. I have to bring people in just to have general conversations about this. Have you guys call in, talk movies, behind the scenes. Voices with Ryan Reynolds was a crazy movie. Yeah, it's great. Brooklyn, Brooklyn, get me some great guests to come on and just talk movies and culture. Get me guests, Brooklyn. They have to be able to come into the studio. Come on, Brooklyn. Guys, we got less than 2 minutes left. Your dad maybe could do an arts and leisure evening one time. Yeah. Well, my father's coming in. The next time I have my father in is going to be Saturday night special, December 20th, with my cousin Jeff again. We're going to go through old Christmas film again. Um, this Saturday coming up, November 8th, we have a Saturday night special that's going to be on Quite Frankly.tv on pill.net, starring not only my cousins Sherry and Dave, but Zoso Dude is going to call in, and we're going to have a big music and culture kind of a thing. That'll be great for Saturday night. This Friday night is going to be another episode of the Playhouse. Me and Anthony are welcoming on both of our. Well, it would be good for Playhouse conversations too, Shane. So I can book that. I can book that for, quite frankly, for Playhouse, whatever, depending on how Anthony would really get on with it. As a there's a lot of stuff that would work for both the Playhouse and, quite frankly. So it's not like I'm just like scrubbing all music, movies, conversations from, quite frankly, not at all. But I just wanted to have a space where Anthony and I can do a show twice a month where we're co-hosts. So that's what the Playhouse is all about. And this week on Friday night, we're bringing back on Tim Gorgon, who was the not only the lead singer for Within the Ruins, but our singer that during our heavy metal days, and our friend Kyle, who was our rhythm guitarist. So our band is getting back together for Friday night. We're going to listen to some of our old recordings. We're going to watch some video of us from the recording studios back in like 2004. You guys are going to love it. Friday night, I hope I can get them in more often because that's just going to be silly. I heard Red Pill 78 is back on YouTube. Good for him. A channel that size, that's going to be a nice influx of money for him. You know, on Red Pill's channel, he can fart and get 20,000 views. That's wonderful. I gotta figure out how to wake up. I'm still trying to send a signal flare to the people I already have subscribed over here. It's very hard, but I'm really happy for Zach. He deserves it. He works very hard, and hopefully we can get him back on the show. I always invite him on, but I understand that after a long day of streaming, and he does so many shows, showing up to do a panel with me at 9 o'clock is probably, or 7 o'clock is probably just exhausting. Maybe you can be a guest on his show instead and plug your channel. Well, I mean, I go where I'm asked. But my whole thing is, yeah, I'd love to make some appearances and get some attention drawn to my work, but it shouldn't be this hard to create some momentum for myself when I have 103,000 subscribers here. It shouldn't be this hard to create momentum, to get any number, even if a lot of the accounts I have follow me are dead accounts or whatever. There's always a subset of people, subscribers, who are no longer on YouTube, whatever. It shouldn't be that hard to get a community involved in liking and sharing and sending it. We should be able to create our own momentum, you know? And to see these dead accounts come back, and already they're so much more fertile than me, and I haven't gone anywhere. And I've streamed 12 hours plus a week for all the years that they were gone. I'm just like, what? You know, what switch needs to be flipped? I'm just trying to figure it out. And we'll see. Will Sunday subscriber streams be on YouTube again? No. Sunday subscriber streams, you get the link sent to you. Sunday subscriber streams are on pill.net, and they work out great. They work out wonderful. And that's a part of a small partnership I worked out with Pilled to do my exclusive stuff over there and whatever, just to be able to. I'm trying to stay afloat. Here. And but I have so much leeway to do everything else. Like here we are on a Sunday, and we've already done. I know it's just a random appearance, but we've already done 25 more minutes than I did with the other stream today. So I definitely have plenty of leeway, you know. What do you mean, Kitty? What's wrong? Well, why can't you watch it on TV? Kitty, if you're having problems, if anybody's having problems with Pilled, please get in touch with me on email or something so I can link you up. With Matt, because they're always trying to improve the platform and figure out what is the holdup for average viewers and what's happening. I would love to know what's going on, because I want that's a truly independent site that I will never abandon, only because we know how fickle our ability to stream on places like YouTube is. Even those of us who weren't kicked off, we're not allowed to do much else. Love you, Frank, and the Franklies. God bless. Thank you, ST. Love you too. I really do. And then we have one more here. Richard Collard says, "Happy Sunday." Happy Sunday to you too, Richard. Thank you. All right. What do you think of Trevor Moore and his untimely death and strange events surrounding it? I don't know, man. I haven't heard it. Send it my way. I have a lot of things to cover tomorrow on the show. 7 o'clock. I'll see you there. But this was a wonderful Sunday afternoon discussion, and thank you for hanging with me. And all the best. Be well. Take care. Much love, much love, much love. Happy Sunday.